Bare hands in the soil, skirt hem catching dew, laughter like a brook running straight through you. Kettle on a stone, steam curls in the breeze. Three women round the roses, talking to the leaves. Here in the garden of the green women, roots in the earth, hearts opening. We sow our stories with the seeds we're given, and everything grows again.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's season 3, episode 2 of Get Off My Lawn. My name is Shelly Partis,
I'm Ann Reber.
and we are getting into our busy season. So you're looking good today, Ann. What have you been up to?
Today we have been planting. So we have 23 of our 25 raised beds planted. Yay. We're still
Yay.
waiting to plant corn and beans because we need it to be more consistently warm before
Mhm.
those go in the ground. It did freeze last week, so we're not that far out from cold, but
Yeah, the
but
10 the
yay.
10-day forecast looks pretty good though. I've been
I
looking
know.
at it. That's my goal this
It's
weekend is to get everything except for a few things that I'm holding back on into the
mhm,
ground this weekend for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's so exciting to have stuff in the ground, but at the same time, this time of year is a little iffy yet. We could still get
Hmm.
some cold weather, which we
Yeah.
have before, but we are planning to have everything set up in case it gets cold. We can put plastic over stuff. So,
Yeah.
yay. But it's just a relief to get all of our plants all of our starts finally outside in the
Hmm.
ground and exposed to sun and wind so they can harden and grow.
Hmm.
Yeah, and that's just stuff to check off the checklist.
Yeah,
Um,
it's such a busy time. It's fun, but there's so much to think about and so much going on. Well, not just with outside in the garden, but also
mhm.
just life in general. Um, I don't know about you, but this time of year, I always feel like there's so many things going on. I'm just feeling pretty overwhelmed and tired with life, work, state of the
Oh
world.
yeah.
But I always enjoy being able to have a good excuse to go outside, so it's a good escape, right, from the real
Oh
world.
yes, yes. Oh my God. So we have a lot of stuff in our garage, and I have little paths walking through there, but I tripped over a fan last week and I crashed hard. And so I have like bruising down my chest, one of my knees bruised. It's like I can't afford to be laid up this time of year. I just can't. So, but it's like stuff like that. If I had been focusing on where I was walking, I probably wouldn't have crashed.
I
So
know.
that's my mind is so full of stuff that needs my attention. And I gotta focus. Otherwise I get hurt. So,
And we're not
but
as young as we used to be,
oh, tell
and
me about it. I know. And I see that like in the mirror, and I see that when my body starts talking at me and saying, "Hey, you're actually closer to 60 than you are 50." I
I,
know.
I have to ask you this because I went to the doctor the other day, and
Mhm.
they have the big fancy scale, now you get on the scale and it does all the numbers, right? So they always have to
Yeah.
plug in your age. And is it just me, or do you sometimes have trouble remembering how old you are?
I always feel okay, so I was born in a 0 year. So my age is the same last number as the last number of the year. But that doesn't happen until October. But right now I'm thinking I'm 56 because it's 2026. And
Right.
it's like, no, I'm not quite there yet. But yeah, in my mind, it's just, I have a hard time remembering. Now I'm kind of 55 still.
Yeah.
But
And well, you'll always be a little bit younger than me. I was born in, a 9 year. So,
Hmm.
same thing. I always think of, okay, I am the age plus one, whatever
Yeah,
the month is, but I'm not. It's not time yet. It's not my
not
birthday yet.
yet,
So,
not yet.
yeah,
Nope.
no. So I was sitting
Yeah.
there and I just totally blanked out. Like, how old am I? I like had to pause a second, and she said, "Well, would you like me to look at your chart for you?" I said, "No, I know how old I am. I just can't get it. I just can't pull it out of my brain at the moment."
Yeah. I
Anyway.
went to a specialist for menopause a couple weeks ago,
Mhm.
and it was a very eye-opening conversation because hormone replacement and bone density loss and all the stuff that when you're in school in health class, they're all always talking about, you periods and stuff like that. But nobody ever talks about menopause.
Mhm.
So where do you get the information from? The internet? Well, a lot of that's just suspect.
Yeah.
And a lot of medical focus is not on us older women. So there's a lot of gray area, or not gray area, but a lot of area that I do not know. And so
Mhm.
it's been really like fumbling around in the dark trying to figure out why is my brain so foggy all the time.
Mhm.
I have to drink a lot of energy drinks just to feel like my brain has got some energy or something like that. So
Mhm.
it's just been really, like I said, an eye-opening discussion. And I have a follow-up with her, and I think that'll be again another eye-opening discussion. But
Yeah.
she could tell immediately that I've been struggling, and I know I have. So,
Yeah, me too. And I just feel like I don't know what kind of answer I'm looking for, but I just
mhm,
don't feel like I have all the right answers, or there's,
right.
it just feels like there's this it's an easy answer. It's an easy answer to say, oh, well, you know, it's you're going through menopause and this is all
Mhm.
just part of it. But I mean,
But yeah,
okay,
what?
then what?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I just don't, I don't know. I'm struggling too with all of that
Mhm.
right now.
Yeah, that's why I like being outside because
Hmm.
it helps me focus
Hmm.
because I can kind of get away from the clutter of even my own office. I
Hmm.
have books, I have my computer, I have like a cat running around. I just feel so distracted all the time. But outside, if I stop and pull a weed, that's not a big deal. On my
Right.
way to go put up some irrigation for my raised beds.
Yeah.
So I just feel more relaxed. So,
Yeah, I agree. It's a little like I was saying earlier that it's a little bit of an escape from just the normal stresses of life
mhm.
and all of that. But it's also uh there's just something very calming about being outside with plants
Yeah.
in the dirt, seeing the wildlife. This morning I woke up, opened up my window and was looking outside and I know they're eventually going to be the bane of my existence, but there was like two or three little baby bunnies hopping around.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, it's
Hmm.
just and Canadian geese out on the lake, and all of that, and it's just I don't know. It's to me, it just kind of instantly kind of calms down that feeling of stress and
Hmm.
um,
Yeah. I
yeah.
was walking through the orchard this morning and I found two birds' nests on the ground. So one I'm pretty sure was a meadowlark and one is a blackbird's nest.
Hmm.
And I mean, I'm glad they feel safe in the orchard because the orchard is it's my place to be not stressed. It's my
Hmm.
place to feel like I can breathe. And it's nice to see like animals
Feel
behaving
the
or
same way?
feeling that way too. Yeah. We
Yeah.
had some big jackrabbits running around, not in the orchard, but outside. And it's just nice to see the wildlife feeling safe here too.
Hmm.
One of our neighbors alerted us that there is a mother coyote and some pups on the property right to our south.
Hmm.
And it's like, oh, I mean, now we have to be very sure to keep our eyes on
Yeah.
our cats,
Yeah.
but it's so nice that all of that still exists.
Yeah.
because it just feels sad that we're losing so much of that.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, especially like around here because people are building houses and stuff like that. And it's like, oh,
Yeah.
I like my solitude.
Agreed. Agreed.
Yeah.
So you were talking a little bit about your raised beds and what you planted.
Hmm.
Um, what do you have anything new this year that you have put in?
Asparagus.
Oh,
We planted two raised beds of asparagus. Now that's a perennial, so these are permanent asparagus beds.
hmm,
So there's that. And then we
interesting.
planted lovage,
Love
lavage,
it.
lovage.
I don't know how to pronounce it, but I know what you're talking
Yeah.
about.
And then something called scarlet, and I do not know what that is, but I guess that's a perennial too. And then there's a good King Henry, which I have never heard of, but we're trying it this year. And is there anything else? Everything else is the usual, like carrots, onions, potatoes, peppers, that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
How about you?
Yeah, so I have asparagus, but not in a bed that I planted on my hillside, and it's popping up. I think it's about three
Oh,
years old.
hmm.
So I think they say that it takes a few years, but once it's established, it'll be there for for forever. So it'll be interesting to see how yours does in the raised beds, kind of in a protected environment. And I threw mine to the into the wild on the hillside that's not protected at all. They're popping up. There's been a few. I think probably it'll be another year before I'll get a good harvest, but they're
Hmm.
surviving, so it's exciting. They
So
taste good.
you don't have problems with animals eating it?
Well, potentially, yeah. Maybe that's why I'm not
Okay.
seeing as much, but they're still there, right?
Uh-huh.
No, I don't think they really like the kind of woody, or not the woody, but
Okay.
the, there's like little kind of barbs on the side of it a little
Hmm.
bit. I don't know. I haven't noticed
Hmm.
it, but and they have some much more desirable grasses and clover and all of
Yeah,
that, strawberry blossoms, flowers, any of the other things that I think they'd rather eat. So we'll see.
of course.
I don't know.
I've been trying to find my strawberries because they're overrun with white top grass, um, vetch, because we planted vetch in there to help get nitrogen into the soil, but vetch is a vine. It's like a pea and
Hmm.
it grows. And my poor strawberries are like underneath all this stuff, so I'm
Yeah.
trying to get to them,
Well,
but they're blooming.
so the same hillside that I planted the asparagus, I planted a bunch of strawberry plants, and
Hmm.
they are there, but I don't see them. They're overrun by clover. So, but I will say that clover has done really great in that area. So it's
Good.
not nearly as much grass. So we can talk about grass a little bit later on, but there's so much grass coming up, both
Oh,
native
I know.
and non-native, and it's just like taken over on the one side. But the area where the asparagus and the strawberries were, because I seeded that whole hillside with clover, but that area seems to be doing like there's not very much. I mean, there's a little bit, but I was able to get that out. A few weeds out there, but for the most part, that's filled in really well. It looks really nice over there. But anyway, but I did plant some strawberries in a raised bed in my fenced garden area this year, so hopefully we'll be able to get maybe some actual strawberries before the birds and
Nice.
the everything can get to them. We'll see. Um, but let's see, what have I planted? I have put peas, onions, potatoes, carrots, lettuce, radishes, beets, celery, and I planted my pumpkins yesterday in
Mm-hmm.
the ground. Garlic's popping up, the flax. I've got a bunch of Lewis flax, which is it's actually just really pretty wildflower a little bit, but it's so that's blooming. Um, I planted some herbs. We built another raised bed that's going to be my granddaughter's garden,
Oh,
and
that's exciting.
it's funny, you'd think like a 3-year-old would pick a bunch of seeds, but she was very specific, and I said, here, you can pick whatever seed you want. She picked peas, basil, and marigolds, and so And
Well, that's a very interesting. I
combination,
mean,
yeah, right?
yeah.
It's very healthy things for the soil, so that's good.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, we'll see how well it does because, she is 3 and pretty much dumped the whole thing of peas like in a maybe
In a pot.
2 square foot area. I tried to sprinkle them out a little bit. We'll see how they go. Peas are pretty good though, so um,
Yeah.
we'll see. Anyway, so that's going good. And then I did plant some buckwheat. That didn't seem to do like it didn't germinate or um,
Hmm.
I'm not sure what happened with that. Um, but yeah, so I got quite a bit in, but still need to put my tomatoes and peppers. I'm gun shy with that a little bit after last year putting them in and then them getting pounded by bad weather. But
Oh,
I think
yeah, you got that hailstorm, didn't you?
yeah. And then
Jeez.
my other squash, so I put the um, pumpkins in, and then I've got sweet potato slips. Um,
So
but I
did
think I'm
you
gonna
start
wait a
your
week for that.
pumpkins or did you just put seeds?
I started them.
Okay.
Yeah. So I started the pumpkins and the squash. So and then I just put in the squash or the pumpkins, and then I'll put the squash
Hmm.
in probably later today or tomorrow is the plan.
Cool. So
Um,
one thing that that we are trying this year, not out in the raised beds, but in planters, is sweetgrass.
okay.
And then there's something that we've tried to grow from seed, I think forever. It's called Joe Pye weed.
Oh
And
yeah.
Aaron got sick of nothing ever germinating, so he actually bought the plants themselves. So we're gonna get those planted too because we actually have Joe Pye weed plants now
Yeah.
instead of
Nice.
just being disappointed by seeds never germinating. So that's exciting.
I did get some plants from the state nursery, a bunch of sumac bushes
Hmm.
that I planted on my hillside, and those are actually seem to be doing fine, and the deer
Good.
seem to be leaving them alone. I haven't noticed
Now, are
them.
those the ones that are all velvety on the tips?
I don't think so. I don't think they're
Okay.
really, I mean, they have leaves. They're the fragrant sumac. I don't know. They're like a native bush,
Mm-hmm.
and then they will kind of thick it out. They spread um, underground, so they'll create thickets of
Cool.
bushes. Yeah. So I don't know. I'll have to go look. It's was really hard to get up on the because it's a steep hillside, and I'm not sure that I spent a lot of time kind of really just like threw them in the ground. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway, but mostly what I'm doing is pulling weeds and chopping down grass. That's what I've
Yeah,
been doing
we
this
got the
last
mower
week.
going earlier today, so Aaron did some mowing around the house, but we have some lots of white top patches that we're going to try to take down. I've been trying to get my raised bed irrigation put back together because we 5 new beds plus we raised 3 of them, so we put an extra
Hmm.
layer on 3 existing ones. So I have to redo the irrigation for that. And then we decided that what we would do instead of 4 drip lines, we're doing 5 in each one. Hopefully, we'll get better coverage. So that's what I've been working on today. And I have so many DripWorks orders. I think I've ordered like 10 times this year because it's like whenever I'm like working on the drip tubing, it's like, oh shoot, I should be doing this, or I don't have like an elbow or something that were really
Hmm.
good here. So next order. And then the next order, I don't have enough valves.
Yeah, I need to go through. I did test out all the irrigation lines. They all seem to be working pretty well. I need to replace a few little sections. I
Mhm.
had some of that like soaker hose kind of,
Yeah,
and it's not working. It doesn't work very well, I feel like.
I
It's not as
definitely
good as
prefer
the
the drip tubing.
yeah, yeah. So I'm gonna replace like I just have a few spots where I had that kind of soaker hose stuff, and it just doesn't seem to. I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe it's full. Maybe it got filled with you know dirt or
Silt or
something
something.
or
Yeah.
silt or something. So I need to replace that and do some work. My aspens don't seem to have survived the winter.
Oh no.
I don't think they did very well.
Well, that's too bad. We've
Yeah.
some of our big tree or some of our trees have not leafed out yet.
Mhm.
And it's like, come on, are you
Mhm.
still alive? What's going on
Yeah.
here? So, and then some are really slow, like our west side trees. They're just barely leafing. I mean, they're just tiny little leaves at this
Mhm.
point. Like, come on, it's summer
Yeah.
almost.
Maybe
What are
I
you
should be
doing?
maybe I should be patient, but I'm pretty sure the one died. The one of them
Hmm.
seems to be still alive. I mean, I did a scratch test on it and stuff, and it's still
Yeah.
got some moisture in it. And one is like a big question mark, and the other one's definitely pretty sure it's dead. So, but
Okay.
maybe it'll pop up, you know, maybe it'll,
Yeah, I
uh,
think don't they come back from the roots or something?
yeah, maybe it'll come back from the roots. It's
Okay.
possible. Yeah. So, but that's one thing I'm doing. I mean, I think I talked about this last time too, is cleaning up around all of my trees and bushes
Hmm.
because I started so many little baby things, little baby trees. I was just talking the other
Yeah.
day with my daughter about the aspens because we have tons of windows at our place, right? I'd
Hmm.
kind of like to have a little more of a privacy shield in between our place and the house next door.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. I mean, there are some big ponderosa pines there, but it's definitely like they can look right into our living room. And I mean, I don't think that's what they're doing, but you know, it'd be nice to just have a little less,
Yeah.
a little something out that way. And so that was what the aspens were going to do. So I might just have to bite the bullet and buy some more mature trees instead
Mm-hmm.
of starting with little baby trees that are 2 feet tall, you know, to try to
Yes.
get some bigger ones and just throw them in the ground there. And I mean,
I've only been to the nursery once this year, which I think for me is a record. Usually I'm at the nursery like every weekend, oohing and eyeing and stuff like
yeah.
that, but I just haven't had the time. Or it's like I feel like I have enough
hmm
finally.
Yeah.
And I don't want to start any more projects at this point because I have a lot of projects and I can only automate so much.
Well, and it can get kind of expensive, right? And if you
Oh,
already have
yes.
stuff. So
Hmm.
I've been there a couple of times, mostly to kill time, like I was in town or something and had an hour and needed to kind of kill some time or whatever. And I picked up a couple of little things, but you know, I was walking around, I mean, I know that some of these other things that I planted last year are going to spread, right?
Hmm.
So I've got some milkweed, showy milkweed, and some swamp milkweed. Both of those are
Okay.
starting to pop up, and I know that those will start to spread
Oh,
eventually.
yes.
So I just need to be patient, I think, with it instead
Hmm.
of trying to throw it. But I did buy some. What did I buy? I bought some lupin plants just because I wanted a plant. But then I found a whole bunch of lupin as I was chopping down weeds, so probably didn't really need to do that either. So. It's already growing. It's growing on its own. I don't even think I seeded that. I think that was just, you know, it's just
Hmm.
native to the area. So, you know,
Yep.
I don't know how much I've spent on that. Um,
So,
but oh my, I planted some, what was it, phlox? Phlox. Um,
blocks.
is that right? What it's
Yeah.
called? Anyway, it's this really pretty purple flower that are like little bushes, and
Hmm.
I had planted it kind of. You remember where we had the sinkhole, and we filled it in, and I was trying to find something that would grow kind of in that rocky soil that we or dirt that we put in there, and um, it's really pretty. It's really flowered, and the deer seem to be leaving that alone at least for the time
Oh,
being.
good.
So anyway, um, what else? How's your path going? Weren't you going to be working on some paths this
I
year?
haven't even gotten to them at this point. There's just, yeah, I look and I think, yep, that needs to be done, but I
Yeah.
just don't have the time at this point. So, yeah, there's still quite a bit of summer to look
Right.
forward to working on that.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
most of the stuff that I'm working on now has to be done now, and that's
Yeah.
the problem. Or not the problem. The challenge of
Right.
spring is you have a window to get a whole bunch of stuff done, And
Hmm.
then you can work on the other stuff that's not time sensitive. So,
Yeah, I had kind of hoped to work on the path when it was more springtime than when it starts
mhm.
getting hot, was my thought. But we have actually had so much rain, and I mean, I don't want to be working on that in the mud. It's like
Yeah.
that's not a fun thing to do in the mud, although it might be a little easier. I don't know.
Well,
But
it does look like we're going to get rain starting Tuesday. So,
yeah,
we've
so
got a little window to get a whole bunch of stuff done.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how these sweet potatoes do.
Hmm.
Sweet potatoes like warm, they don't do as well in the colder climates. Although I did some research, and these two types that I got, I think they're called Covington and Beauregard, are they grow them in northern states, and they seem
Okay.
to do pretty well. And they're shorter; they have a shorter time frame.
Okay.
Growth cycle. So we'll see how it goes, but it seems like they like the weather to be like at 60 degrees or above, you know, or the soil to be 60 degrees or above.
Yeah.
That's not going to happen till the end of June. Then it's going to be too late. So I'm going to just try it. They're just going in the ground.
So these
Probably
are
next
sweet
weekend.
potatoes, not yams.
Sweet potatoes. Well, yeah, I think they're sweet potatoes.
Okay.
Slips. That's what they were.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I
Cool.
got the slips instead of trying to grow it from a. They're not
A
like
seed.
potatoes. They come from, yeah. They give you
Yeah.
the plants already started, and then when you get them, they look almost dead, and they say then you put them in water for a few days
Hmm.
just to get them rehydrated from the transport, and gonna throw them in there. I don't know. They're going to
Oh,
be
that's fun.
kind of crowded because I've been impatient and been throwing other stuff in that bed, but that's all right.
Thunderdome.
Thunderdome, that's right. Uh,
We've did I tell you we got bees this year?
you did say you were going to go back. Well, you had them before, so tell me about
Hmm.
that. Yep.
Yeah, so this year we got 5 nukes, which are basically it's a box with frames of bees rather than a package, which is basically a whole bunch of bees in a box without
Hmm.
frames, honey frames and brood frames and stuff like
Hmm.
that. So we got 5 frames of those. Not, I would say, the best quality, even though the reviews for the place were very high.
Hmm.
But the nukes that we got, I don't think that they're very strong. So we put them in the hives, and now we're feeding them and hoping that they can build up enough brood and honey so they can make it through the winter. We'll find out. But yeah, that was kind of a disappointing experience. We met the truck at Maverick, the gas station
Hmm.
across town, and there was like 40 people waiting. And yeah, the owner of Mavericks was not very happy. This big truck pull in just swarming with bees. People
Hmm.
were a little bit like, no, you guys shouldn't be here. Well.
Where else do
So
we
we picked them up.
go?
Yeah. Well, I would have thought they should have went to the fairgrounds. They could have just gone there, that massive parking lot. They
Yeah.
wouldn't have been in anybody's way,
Yeah.
So that there's that. We've been feeding them.
What do you feed them?
Sugar water is a big one. We had a lot of leftover, like wax with honey in it from before. So when they get all that cleaned up, I'm just going to melt it down and make candles and stuff like that because we have a whole lot of wax from when we used to have bees before. And then we have what's called fondant, which is like this block of basically sugar. You put
Hmm.
water on it, and then the bees come in, and then they can, drink it and go back and make honey, more or less, and feed their
Nice.
brood.
Well, I have definitely been seeing the pollinators.
Hmm.
We have tons of birds out here, so there's a lot of birds. There, I'm seeing moths and butterflies and bees. I have been seeing some big bumblebees and some of the smaller little bees buzzing around a little bit looking for something. And of course, the bats are back.
Oh.
and
That's cool.
doing their thing. So, yeah, lots of pollinators out there. They're always fun to watch.
Yeah. So we too, I mean, aside from the bees, there's a whole bunch of bumblebees and just little sweat bees and stuff like that. That
Hmm.
it's just fun when you take a break and just kind of sit and watch, and everything is just going on that you don't notice when you're just busy. So it's really refreshing to see all that. Well, it's been fun, but we got to get back to work. We're starting to wrap up the real time sensitive stuff, but still a lot more to do. I'll talk to you next time. Take care, everybody. I'm
Yep.
Anne,
And I'm Shelly.
and we'll see you next time at Get Off My Lawn.